Hi everyone, it's Nena, Foxy Mama 365. We're here with the review of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is season 11, I believe it, and episode 1. So we see Kyle and Lisa, Vander Pump that is, going back and forth, and we really don't know what's going on because apparently they're not really in a good place. And we see Ken defending Lisa, and Lisa saying she didn't tell a lie on her children, and Kyle saying no, and literally Kyle is asked to leave the house, and that's kind of sad. So they take us back to I think 2 months before, and here we see Kyle is inviting everyone for a pool party she's gonna have. Oh summer, when will you come? Anyways, Teddy and Edwin, her husband, have bought a new house. The house is a little over $4 million, and she's doing well. She has over 40 coaches and 500 new members. So, and the house is absolutely gorgeous also. So good for you, Teddy. You see Lisa is hanging out with her kids, Delilah and Amelia, and Amelia's back in the house. She's been in New York for a year, and her anxiety is getting better. And they're doing this goat yoga, and I'm like, ugh, nah. Maybe if you put diapers on the goat, maybe. Nah, I don't even think so. Anyways, moving right along. Lisa is talking with her husband Ken, Vander Pump that is, talking with her husband Ken, and I didn't even know she lost her brother, and she's going through the motions. They've done the funeral. She's very sad because they used to be very close. So she's kind of sharing. She's usually someone that doesn't really talk too much. She's not an emotional person, so it's kind of good to see her talk about it, you know. Now we see Kyle is hanging out more with Teddy. They've gotten closer, and Kyle is talking about her home, and Teddy's over, and the house has literally changed, and you know, because we remember when we did the reunion last year, Kyle literally gave us a bombshell saying that her home had been burglarized as well. A lot of Hollywood homes were being burglarized, and her home was targeted, and literally all she had left was the clothes she was wearing. I can only imagine how, anyway, she's had like some kind of psychological effect. She's had anxiety over that, and it's kind of sad. But now she feels better because they have security cameras, and they were installed by Edwin, Teddy's husband. So cool. Erica is meeting up with Dorit, which is kind of nice, and she's talking about the dog situation with Dorit, and it's kind of good to see the ladies get along, you know. And she's also talking about the dog and going and telling her side of the story, that she thought she put the dog with a good lady, and the dog ended up in the shelter. And of course Erica is saying, oh my gosh, you know, Vander Pump must be very, very upset at you. And she's like, no, she thought Vander Pump was good with it, because I think she said she mentioned it, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Well, back in Vander Pump dogs, and apparently it's become a hullabaloo, a real situation, because the guys there are very unhappy about the fact that they had to rescue this same dog, Dorit's dog, from a shelter. And Dorit is saying, oh, but I gave the dog to a wonderful lady who wanted the dog, but something is not adding up, you know, and it's becoming a whole situation. But Vander Pump says she doesn't want to talk about it, she's over it, you know, but it's kind of like hush hush. But somehow Teddy has been told what happened, but everybody's like walking on eggshells. Then we see Vander Pump going back and forth and asking Kyle why she wasn't there at the opening of Tom Tom, and Kyle's like, hey, but you didn't even let me know, you know. And then Erica is like, oh, Lisa is like, oh, but you shouldn't have come either way, you know, just, you know, come to support. And Kyle is storming off and like, look, I'm not going to be the brunt of your jokes this season. I'm not going to be your errand girl. No, don't do it. I'm off. So Kyle storms off, and Lisa is like, why you? No, it's not like that. I'm just going through a lot. I wish you were there for me more. And they hug it out, and they're able to get over it, which is kind of good. Next we see Dorit with, no, not Dorit. Kyle Richards is meeting up with Lisa, Rene, Dorit. Yes, Dorit is there. And what's her name again? Erica. They're all meeting up, and they're talking about how long they've known each other. And apparently Rene and Denise have known each other for a long time. They've done a lot of movies together, I believe. And also, she's also done some movies. Rene has done some movies with Kylie Sheen, who is Denise's ex. They had two girls together. So which is kind of good. And they're talking about a toe-licking scene. We don't even care about that. Moving on. Lisa is meeting up with PK and Dorit, and they're going to have a conversation about this whole dog situation and to try to put it to bed. It doesn't really go down well. PK is saying, oh, it's kind of why they're going on and on about this whole situation, you know. And then there's a picture where you see that the dog bit the kids, apparently, was allegedly, and the dog scratched PK. But then what Lisa is trying to understand, why did the dog end up in a shelter? She doesn't believe they in any way didn't care for the dog, but it ended up in the shelter. So she's just concerned because something like that shouldn't happen. They try to put stringent rules to make sure that the dogs are taken care of. But PK is saying, well, it did happen, and happened with one of your closest friends. So it's all a mess, but we'll see. We'll see. And apparently this story is going round. Kyle's birthday party. We see all the ladies arrive and they all look really stunning. Kyle's house is amazing. It's like a summer pool party with swings, and they have barbecue. The food looks great, you know. So they're all talking and they're hanging out. We actually see Dorit and what's her name, Teddy, actually able to sit down together and have fun and, you know, chat. It's awkward because Dorit was told by Lisa that Teddy knows about the dog situation, but nobody's bringing it up. So Dorit is like, okay. And apparently in Hollywood, it's an unspoken rule not to be seen as animal friendly. So let's see how this is going to play out. Poor Dorit. Well, she looks extremely gorgeous in her swimwear. She's actually wearing one of her swimwear collections, which I thought was really cool. And the ladies are all sitting and chatting. We see Denise. We also see Camille. Camille is also there. So it's kind of cool to see all the ladies together. Lisa shows off with her husband, Ken. So it's kind of cool. And as they're going back and forth and just talking and sharing the happy moment of the opening of the house, they go into talking about Charlie Sheen. And, well, not talking about him, but Kyle is saying, oh, you never know what because apparently her ex-boyfriend and Charlie Sheen used to be friends. And she's like, oh, you never know what he could bring back home. I'm not even going to go into that. Not me. And then they're talking about their childhood. Ladies are talking about their childhood, and all of a sudden Teddy says, "Winning." I was so shy for her. They're like, "Oh, don't say that," because Denise is there and Denise is his ex. Denise is like, "I don't care. That's fine." I mean, so if you don't know, back in the day, the word winning was a phrase that Charlie Sheen coined, and it became his thing, you know, when he was in the media like every other day about one thing or the other. So it would be like, winning. So it was kind of awkward, but the ladies were able to laugh about it and keep it pushing. So it was pretty much a good party up until Teddy's son started to pee in the pool. You go, boy, nothing do you, Joe. So cool. So he literally is peeing in the pool, and the party ends there. I see that we're going to have Brandy show up, and which is kind of cool. I like Brandy. I know she is a shit starter, but let's get it on. I hope this season is going to be really fun. Come on, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to share, be sure to like, be sure to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.